some penguins!
The boat which is going to take us to Penguin Island.
I can't believe how many penguins there are already.
Look how close. Amazing. This is what we travel for. We have started the hike to Laguna Esmeralda.
Here we are at the lagoon and it is absolutely beautiful. We're Craig and Kirsty, a full-time travel couple sharing our adventures here on YouTube. We upload new travel content every week from different parts of the world. Right now we're making our way through the entire country of Argentina and exploring everything it has to offer. If you enjoy seeing new places and real experiences, please subscribe and welcome to the adventures of Tide Knot Travellers. Hola and welcome to another day here in Ushuaia. Subscribe to our channel because we've got so much more Argentina and South American adventures coming up. So it'd be great for you to subscribe and come along on that adventure with us. Today we are so excited, as you can probably tell, because today is the day we get to go and see some penguins out in the wild. We're going to actually walk with the penguins today. So this was like the main trip we were so excited for here in Ushuaia, and we've just booked it a couple of days ago with the guys behind us, Pirator, and we're now here. It's super early. I'm really awake for how early it is. But yeah, it's now just gone 7:15 in the morning and our boat leaves at 8 o'clock, or our bus leaves at 8 o'clock, and then we get a boat over to Penguin Island. I actually feel like I'm dressed like a penguin today because I'm wearing 2 pairs of trousers, 4 tops, I've got a snood, hat in my bag, gloves, everything. But yeah, so we're going to do the penguin tour. I think we get a little brunch somewhere afterwards, and then Craig and I are going to go and try and hike and find a lagoon somewhere. So yeah, got a pretty exciting day planned. And the weather might be cold, it might be hot. We've learnt that the weather changes like crazy here in Ushuaia, but who cares? We're going to see some penguins! Yay! Let's go!
It's been about a 1 hour and 30-minute journey from Ushuaia to Harborton, and we've arrived at the boat which is going to take us to Penguin Island, or Martillo Island. Let's go!
We're going to go see some penguins. Also, I forgot to mention earlier, this company that we're with, they're the only company that have a permit to go on this island. There's lots of tours that you can book here in Ushuaia, but this is the only one where you can actually go on Penguin Island because you're only allowed to take a certain amount of people on there because it's the penguins' home. So the company only takes up to 20 people. Today there's 18 of us going on our little boat over. So many penguins.
Gracias.
I can't believe how many penguins there are already. So cute.
We're doing the penguin march. Very slow and careful one.
Penguins seem pretty chill being here with us. The tour guide's really good. He's making sure that nobody gets more than 3 meters or less than 3 meters away from the penguins. That seems pretty good. And there's not many of us here. We're definitely outnumbered by the penguins, which is a good thing. Both sides are surrounded by penguins right now. It's amazing. They're so little and cute. Babies are all fluffy still.
We're so close to them. So they are Malayan penguins or Patagonian penguins. You see some of them have still got fluffy feathers because they're juveniles. So close. This guy's chilled, he's staying asleep. There's a few over there having a swim.
It's so cute when they get down on their bellies.
Just chilling here with the penguins. They're so close. Just over my shoulder. There's a group of penguins on the far point of the island. Spin around. You can see the main group, the main colony right here.
Now we've just come over to see the other colony of penguins. This is the Antarctica penguin. They're bigger, but there's less of them. Oh, look at this guy.
As cliche as it sounds, these are the days we live for. This is what we travel for. This is what we want to see. Chicks and parents on the land. You can see a few penguins splashing around in the sea as well. You see that? They're literally breaching in the sea. It's so much fun to swim as a penguin.
It does look a lot of fun. They're just like flying around. These guys have got quite a bit more of a personality going on. They kind of walk around like, yeah, waddling, got my bottle going. Look at him, he's running.
Yeah.
I love how they just stand like.
They do. They really put their fins back and stick their chest out and waddle along.
It's like the penguin walk to a T. These guys are so sweet. They tend to stay to themselves, but there's one little guy, one little penguin that's just wandered up to one of the people in the group, just looking at him, and the guide said sometimes the babies look to us like we're big penguins, kind of looking for their parents. So he looks like a bit confused person.
The adolescent penguins have got to an age where the parents have stopped feeding them, so they start fending for themselves. So this guy's a little bit confused. He's looking to us to get some food, seeing if he can get lucky. The rest of them are just kind of relaxing, keeping themselves to themselves. They don't seem to mind that we're here, but they're fast asleep. Apart from the ones still splashing around in the sea, which are a lot of fun to watch.
There are 18 species of penguins in the world, and they are all found here in the Southern Hemisphere. Today we were lucky enough to see 2 of the 18 species here in the wild, and as you can probably tell, we found the whole experience pretty magical. Isla Martillo is home to more than 10,000 Magellanic penguins and around 100 Gentoo penguins, which, as you can see, they look quite different from one another. They are so full of personality we could have stayed for hours watching them despite the cold. We loved the little penguin walk they do with their arms and chest stuck out, which made everyone laugh, and although we tried to keep our distance from them, sometimes the penguins don't do the same and they come right up to you. Even so, it's important not to touch them if they do get close. Our guide was so great at ensuring the penguin space was respected. Over to the side of the island where every single year the penguins nest, and it's protected by these ropes to stop people from going over there and interrupting their nests. You can see a few over there now.
You can see those blown over trees create like perfect shelters for them, but they're all relaxing right now, having their siesta. A few of them have built their burrows a little bit higher above the sea level here. You can see there's a fledgling here and what looks like an adult to me. You can see they built their burrows on slightly higher land on this slope above the water. The main group of them are down there, but there's quite a few burrows here. You can see. I've come up to even higher ground, and this area is all roped off because you've got so many burrows and nests. And in amongst it you can just see you've got the odd little penguin just sleeping behind a tuft of grass. That guy, you can get quite close to him, but there's others here that are even closer. This guy is absolutely KO'd. Fast asleep. Doesn't even seem to know I'm here. He's twitching away. And this guy hiding in a hedge. Hey buddy. Look how close. Literally, I'm within arm's reach of him. Amazing. There's another one over there.
Just as we walked away, the penguins were like... I was like, bye penguins! See you soon! Also, today...
You speak penguin now?
Yeah, fluent. I learnt about myself today that I could take pictures of penguins all day long because they are the most photogenic little posers I've ever seen in my life. They just do this. One of them like twisted, like get my good side. I'm like, these guys are great. Could be a penguin photographer. Easy. Don't have to be any good at it. They just get in position for you. It's great.
They're perfect subjects.
Cute little things.
I love it when they stand up and do a big stretch, put their wings back, stick their chests out, and then start flapping a little bit.
Yeah.
It's so funny, it's really cute.
It is the cutest when they do that.
It's just constantly stuff going on when you're watching the penguins. They're like swimming in the water, they're sleeping, they're like looking at you to check out what's going on, they're like pecking each other. It's it's so amusing. It's really good.
Inquisitive little things.
Our time on Penguin Island is finished. We don't want to leave.
That hour flew by. It was the best.
Bye-bye, penguins.
I love penguins even more now.
Yeah.
I hope they come across well on camera to you guys because it's beautiful here. Highly recommend this tour.
Oh, couldn't recommend it enough. They're so respectful, the tour guides as well, so informative. He's been amazing.
Yeah, it was
really recommend it.
It was 11,500 pesos each, and that's about £45, I think, or like $65. So yeah, worth every penny.
And maybe an hour doesn't sound like much, but it is a good amount of time you get here actually.
Yeah.
You are shown 3 or 4 different areas on the island, but you do get a good amount of time with the penguins.
Yeah, and the penguins just chill, and it's just it's really relaxing actually. It's quite a relaxing hour just sitting there, and I just tend to hold the camera and look the other way and just enjoy it. It's great.
So much better than a zoo, like doesn't even compare.
It's just nice seeing them doing their own thing, and then they come up to you if they want to, or they just chill. Great.
Yeah. And look at the backdrop. Look at the backdrop of this place. Yes, Patagonia. How was your time on Penguin Island?
The best. I want to do it all over again. It's so good. You know, I speak to you about reserving this every day. I want to do it.
With the conflict that we almost had with Chile.
So brunch is actually included in the ticket price with this tour. So we've now just been taken to this cool little restaurant place, and all the food is laid out for us, and there's beautiful views. It feels really nice and rustic and cool and local here. You've got like a proper fire going. It smells really nice, and like a nice log fire on the go, and it's just home cooked food. Looking forward to a nice hot drink as well after being out with the penguins. Obviously it's cold out there.
Yeah, the tour started early. We left Ushuaia at about 7:30. It's now about 11:30, and we've just come a little bit further along on the Beagle Channel from Harborton, I think it's called, where we got the boat across to Penguin Island. So looking forward to getting some food. There's a really nice quick stop for lunch, some snacks and some coffee, and now we're off to our second stop of the day.
Yeah, luckily the tour driver said they would drop us to the start of the hike to the lagoon, which is really kind of them, saves us getting a taxi, and then we just have to figure a way to get a taxi back.
Yeah. Right, let's jump on the bus. And we have arrived to go hiking in Patagonia. We are on our way. We have started the hike to Laguna Esmeralda, and I'm hearing reports of between 1 hour and 2 hours one way to get there. So it should be a nice hike. Beautiful lake up there with gorgeous views across the valley. We've been dropped by our tour group at the car park at the start of the hiking trails. We weren't sure what we were going to do about getting a taxi back to Ushuaia later, but there's taxis in the car park area, so that's not a problem. We spoke to one of the taxi drivers and he said he's going to meet us there in a few hours, so we've got that planned. And to be honest, even if there wasn't a taxi there, we've heard that you can hitchhike your way back to Ushuaia anyway, so it's not a problem. But yeah, should be about 1.5 hours up to Esmeralda, and can't wait to see it. We started the day here in Ushuaia, drove all the way along here, Route 3, off onto the dirt track, which is Route J, along here to Harborton, where we jumped on the speedboat and went to Isla Martillo. We then went back to Harborton, drove along here. This is where we had lunch with beautiful views across the Beagle Channel, then jumped back in the van, all the way Route J, Route 3. Now the van takes you straight back to Ushuaia for about 2 o'clock, but they very kindly dropped us off here, which is the start of the trek to Laguna Esmeralda, and that's what we're going to do now. Oh, the wild landscapes of Patagonia. Breathe in that fresh air. Check this out. This is what I couldn't wait to see. Going over this river. And look how rustic the bridge is. There's a huge beaver dam at the top of this river that we're just following on our left hand side. I mean, if we saw a beaver today as well, that would just make today even more ridiculous.
I feel like the beavers around here have got a lot of choice. The amount of trees that get blown down with the crazy weather here. The soil is really shallow here, so they just get ripped out really quickly. But yeah, beavers must be loving it. They've got so much wood.
The amount of deadfall, you look inside the forests and most of the forest floor is just covered in like sticks and branches and, well, just entire trees. So I asked our tour guide why this is, and he said it's just because the wind in Patagonia. I feel like we're visiting Ushuaia in a very special time because the weather has been so on our side. We've had unbelievable weather. Yesterday it was just hot and sunny all day, and today, yes, it's overcast, but it's still warm and there's not that much wind. Perfect hiking weather today. Yeah. Oh, and I did also speak to the captain of the boat about the strength of the sun and the ozone layer. I asked him if the ozone layer is very thin here, and he said there's actually a hole in the ozone layer in this part of the world. So hence wearing these today, our skin is feeling a bit worse for wear.
Yeah.
So just trying to keep covered up. Those clever little beavers. Look what they've built there. I think an engineer would be very proud of that. I say little beavers. I'm sure they're probably not little at all in this part of the world. Patagonian Kali crater down to our left there.
So we've been hiking for about 30 minutes so far, and it looks like the incline is about to start. Cold, in case you're wondering.
Whew. Yeah, that's very fresh. Beautiful.
lagoon and it is absolutely beautiful. I can't even describe. It's huge, I didn't expect it to be this big. That colour.
You can absolutely see why people rave about Lagoon Esmeralda. It's absolutely stunning with that backdrop of the mountains, the colour of the water. Gets a big thumbs up from us. Definitely worth the trek.
Yeah.
It took us about an hour and a half in total to get from the car park on the main road up to here. And I wouldn't have said the hike was too bad actually. The trail is full of roots and rocks, so it is very uneven, and there's one section where it does get really steep. Maybe takes on about 100 meters elevation in a short period of time, but apart from that it's pretty gradual.
You could definitely do the walk a lot quicker. We stopped and did quite a bit of filming. We could easily have done it in under an hour, easily. We just took our time. Yeah, we still have another 2 hours until our taxi, so we've still got time to relax here. And then it's going to take us like an hour to get back down because we won't film so much on the way down.
There are lots of little flies. I think we've arrived at fly o'clock.
We definitely have.
I don't think they're mosquitoes, but they're definitely quite attracted to us. Just little flies. It's not too
we
bad.
just stink. We've been with the penguins, we stink.
It is also possible to hike all the way up to the glacier, which you might just be able to see at the top of the mountain there. And apparently that's another 3 hours from this point up to the glacier as well. The trails are fairly busy. It's quite a popular hike because it's nice and accessible from the main road. It's such a large area that you don't really notice other people. It's a nice amount busy.
The hike to Laguna Esmeralda is one of the less demanding Patagonian hikes, but is also very rewarding as you get to walk along the 9-kilometre trail following the beautiful milky blue-green cascade of water that flows down from the lagoon. When you reach the top, the views overlooking the lagoon are simply beautiful. With magnificent surrounding landscapes, you find yourself glancing around with pure amazement. This is Patagonia. This is what it really looks like. Laguna Esmeralda, or Emerald Lake, is a glacial lake that is found at the foot of the Ojo de Albino Glacier. The lake collects its water from the melting of the glacier ice. The emerald green waters blend with the copper-red peat bogs and with the ochre, green and brown of the mountains that enclose it. The glacier and consequently the lagoon flow out from the southern Patagonian icefield, which also feeds the nearby Perito Moreno Glacier. The terminus or end of the glacier is found at the Lago Argentina. Join us next time as we take the famous train to the end of the world, where it turns out there's a cute post office overlooking the Bay of Ensenada. We explore a few of the trails within Tierra del Fuego National Park and find some great places along the way. For daily updates on our travels, head over to our Instagram at Tied Knot Travellers, or for exclusive behind-the-scenes content, we'd love you to join us on Patreon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. So we've been hiking for about 30 minutes and now it's getting like, what?